And this week on the Definitely Loud podcast, I have the opportunity to interview a couple of the bands that will be invading the Empty Glass on Saturday, September 14th. As part of their Brutal Romance tour in support of the album of the same name, I have the French trio Mörglbl on the line with me today. What's up, guys?
Hello.
First of all, I'm really glad and excited to have you guys on the show. Why don't you take a moment to introduce yourselves and let us know a little bit about the band?
So we're Mörglbl. We're a band from France. That's a trio. We mostly play instrumental music that mixes together elements of jazz rock, fusion, metal, funk. Actually, there is no real limits to what we do. And we just describe our own style as jazz for deaf people. Well, that's about it. There is bass player Ivan Rougny.
Hello.
The drummer Aurélien.
Yeah, that's my name.
And I am Christophe, the guitarist.
Awesome. Well, it's so nice to meet you guys. And now the band Mörglbl has, of course, a very unique name. How did you come up with that name, and does it have any kind of meaning or anything?
Okay, so Christophe talking. Mostly it's a group of letters that came to my mind the first day I was asked for a band's name. We had no idea how to call the band. And for some reason, when that girl asked me what the band's name was, I just told her, this is Mörglbl. And as I was saying it to her, I was just writing it down at the same time. And in the end, I just put the umlaut on the O just to make it a little scarier. And that's about it. It has no real meaning.
Cool, cool. So I know that you guys are all really, really great musicians. How did you all meet up, or how did you, form Mörglbl?
Well, we met with Ivan, the bass player, more than 20 years ago through a friend who knew both of us. And we started playing together in a progressive band. And participated in a compilation of guitarists in France, and I needed a backup band at the time. So I proposed to Ivan and Jean-Pierre Frodeau, who became the first Mörglbl drummer, to take part on the project. And we got along so well together that we decided to write music together and to create that band. And 6 years ago, we had issues with the previous drummer, and so we tried to find somebody else. And Ivan knew very well Aurel already, and he just proposed to him to enter the band. And well, that's been that combo that works for 6 years. That is Mörglbl now.
Cool. Now, I know that you guys have been in a lot of different projects. How is this one a little bit different than some of the things that you've done before?
Well, there is more liberty in Mörglbl because it's a trio, and so we can go very farther in the music than we used to do with the rest of the band who plays. We have more expression in the trio than in a regular band with a singer and with keyboards and stuff like that. So we can go farther. That's cool.
Yeah, in fact, there is no limit for the composition.
Cool. So with fewer members in the band, you feel like you guys have a little bit more freedom and a little more leeway to use more of your influences in your writing?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, when you have few people like a trio, everybody gets involved in comedy 100%, and everybody just kind of stretches out his limits. And, that makes it probably more interesting because you get, as Aurel said, you get more freedom.
Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. Now, with your newest album, Brutal Romance, can you tell us a little bit about how that's different than some of the albums that you've put out in the past?
Well, I'd say it's probably the best produced that we've ever made. Since we've been together with Aurel now for more than, almost 6 years, I think as a band we've really improved in terms of composition, arranging things, and probably the playing too, because we keep on pushing each other as far as we can. Probably that new album is at the same time more elaborate and at the same time more accessible for people who are not really music maniacs. Yeah. So I guess we kind of reached that level where we still sound like a sophisticated instrumental trio, but yet we kind of make it a little more accessible than we did in the past.
Yeah, and the thing is that we took more time for this album than the other one, to compose and to record.
Okay, so is this the first time that you guys have been in the United States since the record came out?
Yeah. We did a tour, in fact, 2 years ago, just before the album was released.
And actually, that's what Ivan said is we took more time because for the first time we toured a couple of years ago, trying things that have been recorded for that album. So we did things the other way around that we usually do. We composed, we went on the road, and then we just recorded and rearranged the things.
Cool. So what's the writing process like for you guys, and how do you draw all your influences to make a Mörglbl record?
I think it's a mix of all our influences, the trios. Everybody has different influences. I mean, this is already speaking, I'm more a metal drummer at the beginning, but I went to prog and jazz rock music earlier in my childhood. But Christophe and Ivan, it's more like funk stuff or jazz stuff.
Yep. You're right. And so everybody drops in ideas depending on where it comes from. That can be a groove from Aurel, that can be a bass line, chord progression, or a melody from Ivan or myself. And it ends up being a band effort. So we kind of get along very well together because there's no limits. Everybody comes up with ideas. We just work them out, whether we like them or not, and we see where it can take us. And most of the time, we had at the end some kind of a library of a lot of different riffs, licks, melodies, whatsoever. And we then arrange those ideas together to turn them into songs.
So as far as the genres or the types of influences that you guys allow into the writing process, is it pretty open and unlimited, or what?
It's completely open, apart from the fact that there's no singing.
Oh, cool. So with no vocals in the band and so many different influences being drawn on to create your music, is there any type of music that you guys like to listen to but don't necessarily include in your writing process?
Well, I'll tell you, for myself, the only thing I can't really play that I like to listen to is classical music because, of course, with Mörglbl, we don't have the structure to play symphonic music. So, but for the rest, I mean, everything that is playable is welcome to the band's music. So I'd say classical music for me.
Same for me too.
Yeah. Same for me too.
Oh, we're such a band. We're so tight.
On the replies.
All right. So now I know that you guys have played all over the world, including in the U.S. How do you guys compare audiences, from the United States and in the rest of the world?
Well, I think in the U.S. the prog community is more influenced. I mean, more sportive than in the rest of the world. So for us, it's really bigger. So for us, it's a real pleasure to do this kind of tour and to have a good crowd. I mean, every day.
And one thing I'd say about the American crowd is that probably people are more open-minded here, and you can see people in the audience, well, from a lot of different culture of genres, and it's really great to see those people get along well together and listen to the same band, without arguing or without saying, come on, you can't listen to this is not this is not that. I mean, people seem to be ready for everything, and that's something that we really appreciate.
Oh, cool. So you feel like that American audiences might be a little bit more open to listen to anything, and especially your eclectic style?
Yeah, we do, definitely.
Cool. Now, with your U.S. tour having just begun, are there any special cities or shows on the tour that you're especially looking forward to?
Well, we have the Orion as the last show that we're going to play. It's going to be the third time we play there. And I know it's a very important place, not in terms of attendance, but in terms of, the prog culture. That's really one of the spots where people come to listen to prog music, and they're very devoted and committed with the music over there. So that puts some kind of a positive pressure on us to play there and to finish the tour there. So
it's like the Energy Progress too.
Yes. So these are very specific places where we expect a lot.
And we are very looking forward for the rest of the days because we will be sharing the stage with Neil Zaza, who is an American guitar player. So the show in Charleston, West Virginia, will be with this guy. So it will be a great beat, I think.
And I'd say for the first time we get a chance to tour with many different bands. There's going to be Dead Empire. There's going to be Thank You Scientist. Who else?
Very good bands we have heard about. So
So there's going to be a lot of things going on. So I guess every date has its specificities, and we're going to enjoy every one of them.
Of course, of course. Now, I know that with any touring band, you've got your ups and downs, good days and bad days. Do you have any gigs in the past that you maybe just wish you had avoided?
Well, we all went through this, I guess. We once played with Mörglbl. We played a few years ago for one person. And
but that's not so far.
No, but
that's in Georgia.
It was in Georgia. But actually, looking back at it, there was really great moments. So I guess you can always turn something negative into something positive. So we learn every time from the from the bad things. So at the end of the day, you just get a positive type.
Definitely, definitely. Now, how do you guys feel about the role of social media in the music industry, and do you feel like it's important?
It's very important. I mean, without this, bands like our band, who are not in the first league and not exposed that much by the institutional medias, we get a lot of exposure through the through Facebook and MySpace, Lickle, or whatsoever. So yes, I guess it's very important.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. And we'll make sure to have the links up to Mörglbl.com where you can check out their links to Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, and all of that. You can catch that link on deafloud.com. Guys, just one last question here. For any fans of music that are going to be attending the Empty Glass, or some people that may have ever heard of Mörglbl before, what could you have them expect at the show?
I guess they're going to have a good time with us, because not only is the music refreshing and happy, but we also try to make it as entertaining as possible when we're on stage. And I guess it's a very dynamic band to watch.
Awesome. Well, guys, I know that everybody's going to have a great time. Again, the show is Saturday, September 14th at the Empty Glass. Mörglbl from France, they'll be playing with Neil Zaza, also an incredible musician. And I just know that everybody's going to have a great time. I can't thank you guys enough for being on the show. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you.
Okay, so Paul, thank you very much for your support and the kind interviews. And, hope to see you there.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Bye-bye, Justin.
Again, that was the French trio Mörglbl, who will be playing with Neil Zaza at the Empty Glass Saturday, September 14th. You can check out more about that at emptyglass.com.